Welcome to Everything the President Said Today, where we cover everything the President said today without a political bias or a narrative. I'm your host, Isaac, and let's get right into it.
This is everything that the president posted about today, pulled from his Truth Social as well as the official President of the United States account. As always, I'll finish one category completely before moving on to the next one.
And starting with healthcare, today the Trump administration is proud to announce the United States of America's updated childhood vaccination schedule. This schedule is rooted in the gold standard. You can see that right here. You have Europe with 11 injections for each child, and the United States has 72 injections. This is according to an HHS estimate of the U.S. childhood and adolescent immunization schedule compared to other countries. And so this was reposted by the White House. It's rooted in the gold standard, and it's widely agreed upon by scientists and experts all around the world. Many Americans, especially the MAHA moms, have been praying for these common sense reforms for years, according to Trump. And Trump says that this updated schedule finally aligns the United States with other developed nations around the world. Now, this got a community note saying that the total number of 72 vaccine doses is by age 18. In reality, the total amount of vaccines received by age 2 would be around 28 injections. Also, Donald Trump urges pregnant women not to use Tylenol unless absolutely necessary, saying don't give Tylenol to your young child for virtually any reason. Break up the MMR shot into 3 total separate shots. Take the chickenpox shot separately, and take hepatitis B shot at 12 years old or older, and importantly, take vaccine in 5 separate medical visits. Not only is Trump tackling vaccines, he's also tackling corruption. Yesterday he posted, Minnesota's corrupt governor will possibly leave office before his term is up, but in any event, will not be running again because he was caught red-handed along with Ilhan Omar and others of his Somali friends stealing tens of billions of taxpayer dollars. Trump says that he feels certain that the facts will come out and that they will review a seriously unscrupulous and rich group of slimeballs, saying that Governor Walz has destroyed the state of Minnesota. But others like Governor Gavin Newsom, J.B. Pritzker, and Kathy Hochul have done, in my opinion, an even more dishonest and incompetent job, saying that no one is above the law. And so what is Trump doing in response to this? Well, he's cutting off $10 billion in funding for 5 blue states for childcare, social services, over fraud. And according to the White House, he's unleashing a relentless assault to dismantle the massive fraud empires built in Minnesota under the watch of incompetent Democrats like Tim Walz and his radical left enablers. These consist of multiple active, ongoing, and extensive investigations into the fraudulent activities that has occurred in various Minnesota programs. And right now, the Department of Homeland Security is on the ground conducting door-to-door investigations of suspected fraud sites in Minnesota, with hundreds of Homeland Security investigation officers in the state and more on the way. Shifting bases to Venezuela, here's a video shared by the White House of Venezuelans in the U.S. erupting in joy as dictator Nicolas Maduro was captured, and thanking President Donald Trump for delivering freedom. You can see that right here. They're all celebrating, thanking Donald Trump. Here's a big crowd gathering in Florida. And this is a video of angel families thanking President Trump for saving lives and capturing Maduro, who's been flooding America with deadly fentanyl. One mom says, as a mom who lost her 15-year-old son to fentanyl poisoning, this means more than I can put in words. And Trump also reposted the Secretary of War Pete Hegseth's statement about Senator Mark Kelly. Mark Kelly and 5 other members of Congress released a reckless and seditious video that was clearly intended to undermine the good order and military discipline. Pete Hegseth says, as a retired Navy captain who is still receiving a military pension, Captain Kelly knows he is still accountable to military justice, and the Department of War and the American people expect justice. So, in response to Senator Mark Kelly's seditious statements, the Department of War is taking administrative action against Captain Mark Kelly. The department has initiated retirement grade determination proceedings under 10 U.S.C., with reduction in his retired grade resulting in a corresponding reduction in retired pay. And he says to ensure this action, the Secretary of War has also issued a formal letter of censure which outlines the totality of Captain, for now, Kelly's reckless misconduct. And he says that Captain Kelly has been provided notice of the basis for this action and has 30 days to submit a response. The retirement grade determination process directed by Secretary Hegseth will be completed within 45 days, and Captain Kelly's status as a sitting U.S. Senator does not exempt him from accountability, and he says that further violations could result in further actions. Also today, Donald Trump called out Thomas Massie, calling him the worst Republican, and endorsing someone else. He endorsed Ed Galliran, a retired Navy SEAL combat veteran, to challenge Thomas Massie in the Republican primary in Kentucky's 4th Congressional District for the 2026 election. And he delivered remarks at the White House GOP member retreat in which he outlined the GOP's strategy for 2026. Part of this strategy is focusing on the economy, which Trump says that is booming because of $600 billion in tariff revenue. And he says that the fake news media refuses to talk about it because they hate and disrespect our country and want to interfere with the upcoming tariff decision in the Supreme Court. And he says because of tariffs, our country is financially and from a national security standpoint far stronger and more respected than ever before. And he says, God bless America. And the White House says that our national and financial security has never been stronger, thanking tariffs. Now, we talked about Donald Trump addressing Republicans. He did so at the new Trump Kennedy Center, saying that he's raised hundreds of millions of dollars to make it the best performing arts center anywhere in the world. He says that a year ago, it was in a state of financial and physical collapse. He says, wait until you see it a year from now. Like our country itself, it will rise from the ashes. And he posted the Trump on TikTok statistics for 2025. He got 339 billion views, 166 billion of those views in 2025 alone. And he is the #1 most followed account among world leaders and politicians.
Okay, so that was everything that the president posted about today. We saw him issue new vaccine recommendations, such as spreading out certain vaccines and lessening others to make us more in line with Europe. We also saw the reaction of Venezuelans to Donald Trump's capture of Maduro, as well as the fact that tariffs have brought in $600 billion of revenue to the United States. And Donald Trump highlights this as there is an upcoming Supreme Court determination on the constitutionality of these tariffs. Thank you guys so much for bearing with me. Sorry if the audio quality wasn't up to par. My flight actually got delayed about a day from Florida because of the invasion in Venezuela. As always, if you guys want to support this channel, consider subscribing, and I am out.